Hey everybody, I haven't done many pours here lately, so I'm going to do these 10-inch angel rounds that I've been doing for a while now. I keep having people ask for them, and I love pouring on the rounds. I just love that shape in general. And I'm going to do one in gold tones, maybe with a little bit of white, and I'm going to do one in the blue tones. So I've mixed up all my paints, 1-to-1 ratio, paint to Floetrol, doesn't matter what brand it is. And I do have my white that has the Deco Art satin enamel in it, and Artist Loft 1-to-1. Those are my, Artist Loft is my go-to white, but if you want those pretty cloudy kind of cells, satin enamel white from Deco Art. And so I've got that mixed up with the Floetrol and some water added to that, and I'm using latex based Floetrol as always because we're using acrylics. And as far as my golds, I've got, I think this is a Artist Loft Old Gold, and then I've got some Deco Art Elegant Finish Emperor's Gold here, which is a little warmer but pretty close. And then I've got the Vintage Brass, which I love. It's super sparkly, but it is more of a, there's the thing. It's more of a, antique-y brass color, but it's very shimmering. So I've got those three tones, and I want to add, I've got some beautiful copper, but I don't really want copper in it per se, but I am going to add a little bit of this copper into one of my cups. So it kind of warms that gold up just a hair more. And I may add more. I'm just going to see what it looks like here real fast. If it doesn't change it enough, I'm just going to keep adding. So I'm going to go significantly more with the copper this time. And I tell you what, I'm not even going to totally mix it in. I'm going to leave it more on the top because I'm not going to use a ton of paint. So those are going to be combined with my white because I might want that little bit of a cloudy effect. I'm not sure. I'm going to do it in a tree ring style. The blues, I'm going to do a dirty pour. And I wanted to show you just how I mix my last color so you can see I've got a little bit of, this is Artist Loft Light Blue in my cup. I've already got Ultramarine, no, this is Brilliant Blue mixed up, and Master's Touch at Hobby Lobby Lake Blue, which is more of a turquoisey blue. So you do 1-to-1 ratio. So I don't even measure, I just eyeball it, and wing it from there. I don't like to do the exact science thing with acrylic pouring. I really like to make it more spontaneous and just freestyle. That's just me. I'm an artist. I'm not into the chemistry side of it, so I just do it to enjoy it and because I love doing it, and I'm an artist at heart and I just want to create. So as usual with tube paints, the only variable when you're mixing 1-to-1 paint to Floetrol always is going to be the thickness of the paint, and tube paints are always thicker than craft bottle paints. So I keep a water bottle full of water, 90% water, 10% Floetrol, and I put a little squeeze in and stir it up. I do little squirts at a time because if you put too much water, it's harder to go backwards. But if you don't add enough, you can always add more water. That looks pretty good right there. So that one squirt was all I needed. Now, I typically use OGX, which is the hair product. I love this, and it's tried and true for me. Fabulous cells. But I have a friend that uses the Helmar silicone spray H4000, and he gets really cool cells, and I don't even know the ratio. I'm just going to open it up and put a drop or two in each of my colors. In the blues, I'm not going to put any silicone in the gold colors. So I have no idea if this will create good cells or not. I have no idea. we're just going to give it a try. So after you add your silicone, you only stir it really just a bit. You don't over stir it. I always tell people you over stir and you're going to have a chance of smaller cells. So just a few good stirs and you're pretty much done. And so this one I am going to add white to, but I'm not going to put the Deco Art enamel white that I have mixed up in the cup. I'm going to just use my regular Artist Loft white that's mixed 1-to-1 with Floetrol, and it's in my squeeze bottle. So I think I really want to do the gold one first. So I think I'll do the gold one first. So I've got a 10-inch MDF round. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. I order them from Amazon, and they come in 3 packs. They're in my Amazon recommendations below the video. And it takes really no more than probably 3 or 4 ounces of paint. I have a 5-ounce cup, so I always give myself a little extra. And I do have a bronze color that's in a cup here, and I am going to maybe add a pinch of that too. So I think what I'm going to do is put that warmest gold first, and then go with the lighter gold. And I'm going to kind of layer these down the side of the cup a bit. Let me go ahead and put, I'm going to put a little bit of white, but I'm not putting a lot in. And then I'll do the brass. The regular gold. I'll do this bronzy color. I'm going to do another little layer of white. I don't want a lot of white showing, so I'm just kind of leery of that. I'm just not sure. I'll do another of the brass color, which is so pretty. Maybe a little bit more of the bronze. And the rest will be the pretty gold here. So I got more than enough paint. I don't even prime this MDF. You can if you want to. You can gesso it. You can do a spray kills. I have not had any warping or any issues with anything, happening after the paint dries and cures. It works well for me, so I'm pouring straight on the MDF. But I am going to do kind of a tree ring. So really no silicone or anything is in this, but it's going to create cells because of the enamels. There's the gold enamel and the white satin enamel. And I'm going to heat this to get rid of air bubbles. But I do want cells. I do want some cells, so that's okay if I have cells, even though I'm doing a tree ring pour. That's totally okay. And then I'm just going to tilt. And I really didn't want the orangey, bronzy gold to really stand out, but of course it is. And so we'll see. We'll see if we keep it or do something different. I first try to just cover the top of the piece really well, and then I'll start tilting it off. So yeah, it's creating a good amount of cells with that white. I'm going to go ahead and just start tilting off. And I didn't get as much gold as I would like to. So I may swipe this. We shall see. So yeah, the one I've added the copper to is too coppery, and I wanted it more gold feeling. So what I'm going to do is kind of do a little arch here of the, I think it's the Old Gold. It's maybe Artist Loft brand. And then I'm going to put this brass right above it. Now, again, there's no silicone, so we're going to see what happens here. But I'm going to just lay my paper towel down in this. And swipe. And then I'm going to tilt back a bit, just because it's a little heavy on the side closest to me. I'm just stretching out. I don't care if there's not a lot of cells going on. There's some things popping up, and it'll pop up as it dries. I just want a really golden, pretty background, and I'm going to do my regular angel wings on top, but she wanted it mostly golden white, so I'm going to, I think I'm going to stay with this. I don't care if there's a little of the coppery color showing through. I just did not want copper to be predominant, which it was. So the cells are going to continue to pop up as it dries. So I will post a picture at the end of my video, like I always do, of the dried piece at the end. Again, this is just going to be a soft background for angel wings, and so we're going to just see what happens with this. I could do the bronze over it or something, but I really want it soft and light, so I think I'm just going to leave it. And then I always like to go around the bottoms and wipe off that extra paint, just because the extra paint on the bottom side will pull the weight of the paint over the edge, and it'll keep dragging it off of your surface, and it'll keep pulling over whatever you've got going on if you like it. So that just keeps it from taking that weight and pulling that the paint over the edge of your canvas, or in this case MDF. So there's that one. Very mild, but you'll see the beautiful angel that I do later on probably another video. So here's that one. It's pretty in the cup though. I may do another one with those colors. I could probably just go ahead and do another one right now. Why not? So, and I also have a little cup of gold paint here, and it's a whole nother recipe. I couldn't tell you what's in here to save my life, because I was trying the beautiful bloom style, the Shelley art bloom style, and I was creating my own little pots of color with the different recipe that's used for that style, and so that's a different gold. I may try that again and totally keep the white out of it. So I think I'll just leave what's down at the bottom and finish out what's in this little cup. The good part about something like this is you can always swipe or do whatever over something if you don't like what you end up with. I always tell people never to just settle for something that you don't care for. So I'm just finishing up a few of these little containers of paint. So I got the beautiful gold, the bronze. I'll do some copper, brass. Again, this more medium colored gold. This gives me a chance to finish up some cups, which is good because, you know, I kind of always like to start mostly with fresh paint on a lot of my projects if I can. Okay, I'm going to throw in a layer of just good old copper. And then this gold copper mixture. So, a little bit of everything. We're going to see what happens with this one. Tell you what, it's going to be pretty no matter what. There's a touch of white down at the bottom. Hopefully that won't affect things too much, but it's creating cells all on its own. Again, I'm going to pop the bubbles. I'm just letting it go around the edge. This could be an angel, this could be a clock. You know, there's multiple ways you can go with this. These are silicone mats I got. I did invest in some, just small ones, and you know, anything will come off of silicone or plastic so that you can keep pretty paint skins that drip for jewelry, to make jewelry with. So that's what I use mine for. And so I'm going to heat this one more time. I'm pretty pleased with this. I've got one little area with white. I think I'm going to just I'll dip my finger in some bronze, sink some of that down in there. But you can totally, you know, if you got a little white and you don't want it, you can totally add your fingers in and dip and blow. But I'm going to leave this, and the cells are changing, and of course I'll show a picture at the end and let you know what it looks like dried. Again, I'm going to go around the bottom. See if I got close enough for you to see. And that's really not adding any silicone. Isn't it amazing with the metallics and enamels how they create those beautiful cells kind of on their own. Alright, the one thing I want to do is I'm going to move these little cups that I had my thing standing on. So this request was for the blue tones. She's given it to a sister, and her sister loves blue. So we're going to do a dirty pour, and I've got the kind of the brilliant blue, the light blue, which is turquoise, the light blue, and I'm going to use white. And I've got me my 5-ounce cup, so I'm going to start with a little layer of white, and I'm just going to totally pour in. Shoot it in, let it fall in. So I'm not using all of the deeper blues. I want it to be pretty, I want it blue, but not deep, deep blue. So this is a dirty pour when it all goes together and sinks in. And I'm going to flip it. And with the flip cup, I like to get a push pin, poke a few holes. That releases the air and the suction from the bottom of the cup. Loving it already. Color's pretty. Okay, I'm going to heat it. Now this was with the silicone spray, the Helmar. So it's doing a little different than my typical OGX, which is what I'm used to, having react. So that's a good thing, and I'm just going to let it sit here for a few minutes. And I feel like things are going downhill today for some reason, so I'm going to let it drift that way if that's what it wants to do. I am going to go around and just stick a little white to make sure that I have enough paint, because I didn't go all the way to the top of my cup, and I just splashed across there. I don't like splashes. And these MDF rounds dry smooth, except for the sides are a little rougher, kind of like with real wood, even though MDF is a medium dense fiber. It's man-made, but it's super strong and durable. It doesn't warp. And so the edges will sometimes have that little bit of a rough texture, and it doesn't really bother me, but I'm just making you aware of it. Okay, let's tilt this baby and see what happens. I'll spread it back over here. I'm just kind of getting the blue totally spread out on the round before I tilt it off. I do have this one section. I'm going to just kind of go through it a little bit with my finger. It has a lot of the brilliant blue, which I love, but I don't want one area to stand out too terribly much. So then I'll just tilt back over it where I put my finger through it to kind of just make it disappear a bit. Now I'm going to tilt off. You really, really absolutely cannot go wrong with blues. You really just can't. You end up usually getting some really beautiful results with the blue family. And I often, if I have paint on the sides and don't want to like tilt off much more, I will often just kind of take my finger, let it kind of grab that surface of the paint, and then just tilt it over, roll it over the edge of the canvas or round or whatever you're pouring on. I'll get some of that brilliant blue. This is a big cell here I'm not crazy about, so I'm just gonna It's pretty. It'll have the angel with the white wings and the gold accents, and I think it'll be a really pretty background for it. Alright, I'm going to leave it. You know me, I want to keep playing with it, so I'm going to leave it. It's pretty colors. I'm going to leave it. And call this one done. So when you have leftover paints, you can use plastic wrap, larger cups over it. You can even take your plastic gloves and like a cup, you just put your glove over it. Makes it nice and airtight. So the smaller ones, I can put just bigger cups over it until I use them again. Something like that's a 3 ounce, put a 5 ounce cup over and it'll totally seal down and keep the air out of your colors. So I'll save these for another day. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you're a subscriber, click on the bell in the bottom right. You'll get notifications when I post new videos. Check out all the links below my video where it says show more on your laptop or computer, or the down arrow on your mobile device. That gives you all the information about sometimes colors I use and products. It's got my Amazon recommendations link, my Facebook groups links, my tutorials where I teach how to paint traditionally with acrylics and brushes, and my PayPal if you'd like to make a donation. It's always great to have some small donations towards paint supplies. I'm always spending a fortune on paint, and I do appreciate anything that is headed this way and given towards my art journey and making videos for you. So stay tuned, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.